Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after a short break. I, Priyanka,
And I, Kashish.
a student of PGDM at National Insurance Academy, will take you forward towards the last leg of the summit, the presentation round. In this round, we'll have three presentations from the industry experts who will sharing their experiences and views around the theme Next Generation Talent Strategy.
With great pleasure, let me introduce and invite on stage our first presenter, Mr. Anand Kumar Mishra, Executive Vice President of Talent Acquisition, Employee Experience and Business HR at HDFC Ergo. With nearly 3 decades of experience in leading HR teams in top pharmaceutical and insurance organizations, Mr. Mishra is known for his strategic leadership and plays a vital role in engaging 11,000 employees in key initiatives, earning respect of business leaders for his impactful talent decisions. Before he starts, I request my colleague to kindly welcome him formally and present the planter. Now, I request you, sir, to kindly proceed with the presentation.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you. That's great. And thank you, team NIA, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to come here and talk to all of you. I'm honored. I'm excited. Thank you. So, friends, as I speak to all of you today, we are in the middle of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Yeah. So, I mean, in next 15 minutes or so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with all of you the opportunities that comes in Industrial Revolution 4.0, the challenges that comes with Industrial Revolution 4.0, how to navigate these challenges, how to take maximum mileage from this ever-changing business environment, and what is it that is required by each one of you to be successful in this Industrial Revolution 4.0. But before I go there, let me share with you some context about this Industrial Revolution. So once upon a time, there were plenty of jobs available for individuals who used to drive horse carriages, and they used to call coachmen. But when Industrial Revolution 1 came with the steam engines, that jobs were not needed. Similarly, at once upon a time, there were plenty of jobs for weavers. But when Industrial Revolution 2 came with electrification and mass production, their jobs were not needed. You all will be surprised to know that once upon a time there was a world championship for all the typists. Can you believe this? World championship for the typists. But when Industrial Revolution 3 came with personal computers, the job of typists were not needed. Now, you all may think that all these industrial revolutions have come with job losses, job redundancies. Now, we are in Industrial Revolution 4. Again, these job redundancies, jobs are not needed. But possibly that's not the right way, or not the right thing that you all may think or perceive. Because during all these industrial revolutions, the economy has grown, the jobs have grown, the per capita income has grown. Similarly, in the Industrial Revolution 4.0, There are lot of opportunities for all of you. Okay, what sort of opportunities are available is something that I would like to share with all of you. So, for example, have you ever thought that a company will look for a designer for human genes? Possibly no. But today, companies are looking for designers for human genes so that the disease burdens can be eradicated. Have you ever thought that a company will look for a cosmetologist, or there will be a job role available for a cosmetology for a robot? Now there are companies who are hiring cosmetologists for robots. To give you another example, I mean, few months back, I ordered something from Amazon, and I was not happy with the product. I tried reaching to their customer care executives, and I was speaking to that customer care executive for quite some time. Till then, my daughter interrupted and said that, "Look, old man, you are talking to a robot." And that's when I got to know that Amazon have employed some 2 lakhs plus of robots as their employees. Similarly, even at HDFC Ergo, we have employee codes existing for our digital assets. Have you ever thought a general insurance company like HDFC Ergo will have a platform, okay, which will do everything except selling the general insurance products? So we have a platform called here.app where we do everything except selling our products. We talk about well-being, we talk about yoga, we talk about mental well-being, we talk about healthcare industry, etc. The support patient needs, etc., etc., etc. Now to build that kind of a platform, HDFC Orgo has looked for architecture, a designer, fine. So nobody has ever thought an insurance company will hire architecture to design its app, but that's happening. So what I want to communicate to all of you is, I mean, though the opportunity is immense, and there is no barrier that in one particular industry or in one particular organization you will have this kind of role only. The role is immense, okay? The opportunity is immense. Now, what is it that you need to do as an individual to optimize those opportunities? You need to build your skill set. You need to build your talent. See, unlike other industrial revolutions, industrial revolution 1, 2, 3, okay, where finance was the constraint, in industrial revolution 4.0, talent is the constraint. This industrial revolution 4.0 has bring complications, a lot of complications, and unprecedented. This has come at unprecedented fast pace, because of which organizations are facing a lot of complications. Organizations are coming across problems which they have never faced in the past. Now, to solve that problems, organizations are looking for talent like you all. Organizations are looking for talent which are fungible, which has got the learning agility, learning ability, resilience. So, if you have to excel, if you all have to excel as an individual in this industrial revolution of 4.0, you need not only build your technical skills, functional skills, but you need to work on your behavioral skills, on your leadership capabilities. Why I'm saying so? I'm saying so because tomorrow, organizations are facing problems which are multi-pronged in nature. Okay, there is no one way of or one way of solving those problems. Our problems are from different aspects. Now, these multi-pronged problems need multi-pronged solutions. That may not come from somebody who is a IIT graduate, who is a HR graduate from XLRI, or who is a finance graduate. Possibly, all of these people need to come together and solve these multi-pronged problems of the organizations. Now, that means what for you? That means that possibly you need to develop, you need to build the capability so that you can work as a team. You need to have strong communication skills so that you can communicate with each other. So only technical functional skills may not help. You may be great. You may be great at some technical skills, but if you are not able to collaborate, if you are not able to work in a team, possibly you may not be required by the organization. So sitting on the edge and thinking that I'm an expert in finance, or I'm an expert in underwriting, or I'm an expert in product design, okay, so I'm the talent for the organization, may not hold true going forward. Because organizations like us are looking for individuals, looking for people who can solve these multi-pronged problems, can work together, can bring in their leadership capabilities. It may also happen that when you get to work in a team, possibly your co-worker may be a robot. So what does it mean for you? Just to give you another thing. Recently I was listening to one of the podcasts, and I got to know that one of the robot did suicide because of high work pressure. This is something which is unbelievable. But this is, and the authority of that country is investigating this case. So they are not machine per se. So what does this mean? Are you with me? Are you understanding what kind of competencies, skill sets you all need to build? So possibly just focusing on only building your technical skills, functional skills may not go altogether. You need to focus a lot more than technical functional skills. Okay, you need to focus on your behavioral, on your leadership, on your on these capabilities. So what happens once you'll hit the workplace? Okay, either this year or next year, majority of you will hit the workplace. What you all need to understand at the initial level, possibly your own technical functional skills may help you to grow. But once you reaches a level, your ability to influence, your ability to work with the team, your ability to collaborate, your resilience, okay, and your communication skills are something which is required most. I'm sure at NIA, the faculty, the professors must be focusing on these things, but you as an individual need to focus here. My colleague Avishek, who has helped me in in making this presentation, have carved out certain competencies which may be of use to all of you, and that's primarily basis or research, or the way we are hiring talent, or the capabilities that we are looking for Okay, these skill sets are built on this. May I go to next slide, please? So, so these are the things. These are the competencies. If you want to survive, not only survive, if you want to excel, if you want to excel in this industrial revolution era of 4.0, you have to be digital native. Okay. When you see a company organization like HDFC Ergo, which is in the space of general insurance, is talking about a platform where no insurance products is being sold. So you can think, what does, I mean, other companies or other organizations may be doing. Diversity champion, as I mentioned, as I said, that your co-worker may be a robot. So it's not more about male, female. Okay, so whenever we talk about diversity, primarily the notion is that male is to female ratio. But that's not the case. You may have to work with somebody from a different religion, different company, or robot. So you should have that skill set, that understanding to partner and embrace that, you know, embrace that diversity. Right. So these are few of the competencies that you need. Customer centric, like earlier it was more of customer experience, but there's nothing called as customer experience. Okay, it's all about customer delight. Before I think, before I perceive, if my problems are solved, okay, I'm delighted. I'm ready to visit your platform. I'm ready to be your customer. If not, then fine, then it's okay. So the message that I want to give you is that your digital journey is no longer optional, it's necessity. Be ready to work with a robot or listen to a robot next time. You never know. So this is the digital transformation that Abhishek has shared about mm, from HDFC Ergo. Okay, so now talent. When we say, I mean, why I'm saying all these things is because organizations today are not competing with each other, but the talent that organization possess, they are competing with each other. So the supply of talent can be from anywhere, from this NIA, from a village, from a city. The kind of transformation that digitization has done is immense. Now, earlier, possibly somebody who is at Delhi may have a premium of certain things, and somebody who is at Bilaspur may not have those premiums. But that's not the case today in the era of digitization. So I'll stop here and I'll see if you have any question. But this is what I wanted to communicate to all of you, to give you all a sense what's happening at the organization level. How can you prepare yourself to survive in this industrial era of 4.0? Any questions for me? Any comments on my presentation? Anything? No questions, no comments. Nobody is ready to work with robot. Any thoughts? Any thoughts on this thought of developing, not focusing only on technical or function skill, but on, yeah, please.
Sir, something related to AI. For example, we all know that insurance is a very regulated industry, and AI always has a high probability of hallucinations. So how can we deal with that? Because if there is something wrong, it can cause a catastrophe, especially something like underwriting or claims management. So how do we ensure that it does not really it helps us but does not impact our business?
Okay, so I'm not an expert in dealing with this. If I'll share, if I'll answer to that question, okay, maybe from a layman perspective, okay. So what I can do is, I mean, to give you a answer from the perspective of an underwriter. The perspective of underwriter here is important. Okay, so what I can do is, Abhishek, let's write this question. I think it's a very this question is very technical in nature, and I'll ensure that you get a answer, not only answer of this, but the explanation of this.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just don't want to roam around and give you a googly answer types. Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, sir. How to reduce the number of false positive cases that AI generates out of 100%?
Okay. So, I mean, it's a very good question. I mean, his question is primarily that how to navigate or how to minimize these cases, the wrong cases that AI generates. Okay, so that I'll not say it from the underwriting or from the insurance perspective. I think that exists everywhere. Okay, what we all need to understand at this point in time is that we can't leave everything to the digital. At no point in time, the digital infrastructure or digital assets are going to supplement or going to remove the human interventions. They are learning on their own. The more data that's given, okay, that's they will refine. I mean, today also we come across cases while claim settlements or other things where we have all done that digitization, but certain things happens and then that requires a human intervention. So delegating everything to the digital assets may not work. Possibly it also needs a human intervention or human check. So that's how we are dealing at HDFC Ergo. Possibly as the time progresses, the ratios, etc., will improve. For example, if I may give you an example, when mm, first time we started working on retention of employees data, okay, we started using that artificial thing in the retention framework. Yeah, right. At first go, the accuracy rate was around 70%, 75%. The more than we started working today, the accuracy rate is not 90%, but 88, 89%, which from the artificial perspective, I think it's a great thing to reach at 85, 89%. So leaving everything to the digital asset may not be the solution, but yes, the digital and human aspect both will coexist, and there is no harm in it. So fine, if there are no question, I just wanted to share some of my thoughts, okay, in context to the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and what's happening. I hope that you all will work in this direction and you all will have a great career. Thank you so much. All the best. Take care.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful presentation. Next, we have Mr. Hemant Gandhi, who is the Senior Vice President and National Head of Learning and Development and Talent Management. He has expertise in business development, brand positioning, and product launch. He is passionate about human resource development, business strategic planning, and leadership development. He has been awarded as the Best Chief Learning Officer and Best Blended Learning by Tisler Ward for the year 2018-19. Before he starts, I request my colleague to kindly welcome him formally and present the planter.
slide change. Hey, good evening, all of you. So, first, thanks NI for inviting me. It's always absolute pleasure to be part of NI at any form, either as a faculty or in MDPs or today in Tatva. I think I'm coming this for after 2 years, and before also some years I'd come. But I think I must congratulate NI to taking this to next level every time. And I think very innovative thought process, very relevant with time. Although I might be sounding very repetitive to you, but just from morning you're learning about next Z, Gen Z. But I think two realization: one, at while I'm making the presentation, and second, what I mean, sitting here today and learning from other speakers. I think the first realization was I'm working on this topic from year 2020 when to 2021 Tata AG is getting first batch of next gen coming to them and working for them. And till after that, I might multiple presentation for management trainees, for culture change, for realigning the organization. One of the very interesting project that I work on next gen is making cool organization, because that words come very naturally to Gen Z, correct? But till now, I done this presentation to only baby boomers, next gen, millennials. First time I'm going to present a Gen Z presentation to a Gen Z, and that's where I feel would be a great learning from both these sides. Uh, it's like somebody tells me and come and tell me you're a fat, correct? I'm aware about it. I think from morning you're listening a lot about Gen Z, Gen Z, and Gen Z, which you are already there, and somebody who's not a Gen Z is coming and teaching you. The second realization which I had done till now, and I was listening outside the other speakers, this setups reminds me a setup of movie theater, right? And the beauty about Gen Z, because I deleted one slide, unfortunately or fortunately, there is Dr. Renuka. I think I troubled her a lot. I given the presentation at last minute because I was making my first slide. What is Gen Z all about? Luckily, I deleted that. Correct? Because now, for a Gen Z, one thing which I want to add to you, the information has come very early to you and very easily to you, right? So if I show, like in a movie theater, when you used to go and the new movie premiere or teaser used to come, we used to be very excited about it. When being a millennial, I used to go for a movie, right? Why? Because we are seeing it first time. But today, if you go for a movie and you get a teaser, you said, remove it, I want to go back to movie because I've already seen on YouTube, or you've seen the teaser much before. So many of the slides, many of the information would be repetitive to you because the information goes very naturally to you, and a very eminent speaker there for throughout the day would spoken about that. But luckily I have a topic which is relevance of talent to future of business, future of customer, and regulatory risk. I'll try to get more modern, more way the corporate behaves, and that's the value addition I can do it to you. Ki how the corporate thinks about it, how the millennials and Gen Z think about it, and that's where I can add that perspective compared to your own perspective. Yeah. So I'll skip my slide on what is Gen Z is all about. You are aware, but what is the impacting of next generation on the new business environment? I think a lot of topic, as I already said, has spoken a lot, but I'll touch the point one is digital transformation. I think today, in precisely in insurance industry, the way we used to operate, I see in this industry more than almost 2 decades now, and today what the industries operate is completely on digitalization. The transformation has helped us to minimize the operation risk, increase the customer expectation in terms of time, accuracy, and data, and also help us to get more accurate information about risk mitigation, risk evaluation. Now companies are doing underwriting through AI or machine learning, and the data is easily able to give you faster emulation of the risk. Example, the most critical risk in any form of insurance is medical risk, right? You're speaking about each individual which is different health. And today AI do that medical underwriting in within seconds, which used to take 7 to 15 days before. So I think digital transformation is helping organization to next level, helping technology to make ease of operation, innovation, and disruption in the business. Today, the competition for insurance industry is not about, or any business is not about the product they are dealing with, the customers they are dealing with, or the competition which is very well known to them. The risk lies with them is about technology innovation and technological disruption that we look around. Second, the business environment challenge is globalization. Today, the business are boundarilized. We are operating across the world. A small player, example, a hammer maker, doing an export to US, or with support of us, which is a trade credit. Today, we're giving a buyer list to any exporter across the world who is a safe buyer to sell. And today, business are moving across the boundaries, helping the supply chain, helping their economical distributions, and reducing their cost and profit, increasing their profitability. But that also gives a global risk, a geopolitical risk, that your business, if depends on a particular country and geopolitical changes, is impacting directly to your business. It's impacting to supply chain, which might impacting to your business interruption, also impacting the way you see your business in the future. So that's where the another risk is the globalization, which is opportunity now a biggest threat. Third one is more interesting for many of you. Next year, you're all going for campus, and the first thing in your mind, what kind of company you're joining? It's work from home, hybrid, or back to work, or work from office, correct? I think COVID-19 has given this transformation precisely to non-tech industries, where we can think and imagine running a company completely work from home. Precisely, an example, insurance industry till 2020, COVID time, nobody can think every entire company will operate from work from home. Rare jobs are insurance who can operate and think work from home. Then come COVID, which makes us that yes, we can operate through help of technology, and this next generation, we can completely work from home. We can do business, do customer service, completely work from home, and that gives a work-life balance, productivity, better environment to work with. Then the era come out of COVID, gradually the hybrid style of working said, and that somebody realized that's the ideal way of working because it gives you freedom to work. It create a challenges like company culture, collaboration, learning, and training. But gradually, company realized that if they want to be more productive, create more company culture, creating collaboration across the teams, departments, and employees, companies are back to in-person, back to work. So that's a challenge. Because we're speaking about Gen Z, this generation, as I said, started working from 2020. The era is of work from home, thanks to COVID. And they know there's a struggle to go to office, there's a struggle to travel for 2 hours. Correct? For us, it's natural. We done it till 2019, 20. I still meet employees and Gen Zs and says, sir, 1 घंटा travel करना पड़ता है. That was natural to us, right? Office जाओगे तो travel करना पड़ेगा, but they never seen it. Correct? Many of them has never gone to college also because in COVID they work from their studied from their home, right? So traveling, coming to offices, struggling for workstation, going late, all that challenges that they today face. Suddenly their parents become old because when you study till MBA, your parents are pretty young, but the time you move out of this college, you have personal challenges, you have lifestyle challenges. All that challenges are not there because you're working from home, you're there with your family, you're there with your parents, you're there with your friends. Now everything going to change for you, correct? And I think that's way another way you adopt the entire change that lies with you. Sustainability, I think with not Gen Z as an employee, but I think Gen Z as a customer, sustainability become very important, not on the regulation point only, but from a customer point of view. Customer are preferring an organization who are more environment friendly, their operations are more environment sustainable, and they make sure they are compliant to ESG, and they're doing good for community and society also. Correct? The brand added represented is there. The entire purpose is we are there for community, and community means everything around us, and how can we serve community better. So I think that's vision and thoughts helping environment. But if you're not environment friendly, if you are in interest of your profit, you're not reducing your bio waste, or you're not working in an operation sustainability. Example, when I used to work, customer used to mandate us to give hard copy of policy. Today, if you send hard copy of policy, the Gen Z tell us that you're not environment friendly. So customers are asking you to be more environment friendly, and they're pushing you, and that's the change. It's not only ESG as a part of governance, but ESG also part of your employee or customer's expectation also. Generation like you also don't want to work with unethical and company who's not been environment friendly. We had employees who come back to us and ask us to stop using tissue paper in the office. You can't give tissue paper in the cafeteria because it's impacting to environment. So I think the generation like you is reversely pushing to entire organization, entire talent to work in a mandatory working ethical business and sustainable business model that we work for. Chasing customer expectations, I think, as I said, uh, the way corporates are working and the way customer are working, this time we are covering everybody, correct? And mainly if we speak about customers, we are serving the customers beyond baby boomers also, right? So you're managing Gen X, Alpha, Gen Z, you have a different type of customers which have different expectation. But I think the biggest expectation which change in customer, my fellow or previous speakers speak about customer delight. I think they're way ahead for than customer delight. Customers need more personalized information. Customer need more customized information and immediate service. The transformation I see, and all of you studied insurance. In a motor insurance, there's a concept called cover note. After that, you can send a policy in 90 days. Today, a customer pays a premium and he said, you are slow. And when I ask, what do you mean by it? What customer says to me, your policy comes after 8 seconds of paying the premium. So the way of immediate has really become immediate. So he said, I buy insurance, another product from an X insurance company, and there I get a policy in 3 seconds. So you are a 5 seconds slower than your competitor, correct? So I think that difference is much, much ahead. The another challenge you will see when you join insurance company or for that matter any other industry is we are working in silos. Why? Because we have underwriting guidelines, we have a combined, we have profitability to work for. So example, if I see a corporate in a commercial line business model, marine business will operate in a silo. So tomorrow you want to go in a group personal accident or a GMC, I'll not give my client to you. I'll not share my best practices, how to go to the client, how to win that account, because that expertise lies with me. I'm saying within the organization, correct? But today, customer or for that matter, retail business also. If I buy a motor insurance, I'm an executive. I renew my insurance on every Saturday or Sunday only. If you have an health insurance policy, which I'm buying first time, and next year my first renewal, why can't you go back and see my behavior of motor insurance and give me a personalized way of a renewal or a communication or a message? So I think today you have a lot of database of a customer. You have a lot of potential to go. I think with the expertise, with the data, and now insurance companies are making customer profiling. So Hemant Gandhi is the one customer with his phone number, with his PAN number, whatever the common date of birth. Next time he comes for any product to me, just by clicking my first detail, which is my mobile number, can my entire data, which is pop up automatically for him, correct? So I need more personalized approach, the way I buy, the way I renew, the way I behave at the time of claim. I think that expertise should go throughout for me. So I'm not a Tata AG or any insurance company, a motor customer. I am your customer, correct? And that's why when I come to buy any other product from you, I need to get that personalized information or personalized experience for me, which should be common across all lines of business or all products that do. Before, every verticals of insurance used to work in silo, and that is same applicable to any other industry or product that you operate. FMCG, you go to Hindustan Lever, you buy 10 products. Today, with the social media marketing, digital marketing, they're getting more customer profile and they are recommending it to you. If you go to Amazon, what they're doing it to you, they know your buying patterns. And next month, when you go for a grocery shopping, it gives automatically pop up what you buy every month regularly. You can delete it, but if you don't want, you don't need to go and select each product every time. So today, customers want their personalized and immediate, and when I say immediate, is real immediate. What I used to see, things had changed for us. So that is all about business. Now what talent, which is you, which we're going to come next year to take you along with us. What you need to change? Many of your seniors who worked as a summer intern with us, I met them today and they said what they need to be there for next 6 to 8 months. Thanks to when I was part of your education board, where one of the area I always focus on employability, right? Why after 2 years of precisely learning insurance, you're not a day one ready, right? What company speaks day one ready and what your mark sheet says, you're day one ready to understand insurance. But are you day one ready to work for a corporate? And that is not applicable to NI, that is applicable to all management institutes, where the corporate see a gap and maybe if we see in our HR language, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, I feel apart from the same Philip Kotler or whatever marketing book you read, why company discriminate between three tiers and give a different CTC to 3 tiers is about the talent that we need to be future ready. And if you have 1.5 years for you, see that can you work on these areas to make sure you are talent ready or the company picks you first. So what are talent strategy we look for it? Continuous learning and upskilling. I think many people feel, and I also feel when I done my MBA, it's full top. पढ़ाई खत्म, अब मजे, अब नौकरी करेंगे और पैसा छापेंगे, right? But after I realized my induction that every day I was joined a GlaxoSmithKline, I need to learn about products, processes. It's a pharma-driven FMCG, so I need to tell what is the benefit of my product. As product as toothpaste, जहाँ आप कभी सुनना नहीं चाहोगे toothpaste company Colgate वाला आपको क्या बोलेगा क्या फायदे हैं. That time I used to sell Aqua Fresh and I had to go tell about product to people, right? So I think you need to have continuous learning. The competitions are changing. I think my predecessors and many speakers from morning tell you that the competitions are changing, the world is changing, we're ever fast. Okay, I think before the IT need to run AI and ML, IT need to know about any technology, Meta. Today I also need to know. Being an L&D, if I doesn't know about technology, how can I drive digital learning for my employees, right? So I think continuously upgradation is must for talent. Continuous learning is must for that, and relevant competencies, relevant technology, you should know it. Before, the competencies are limited to role. The HR and L&D used to speak about role-based competency. Today, it's employee-based competency. It's a business-based competency. If insurance company need to be customer-centric, customer centricity is a competency for everybody, from a legal guy to a compliance guy who doesn't meet customer rarely, or any other department you think actually who never meet customers in their life. I think today it's a business competency than a role-based competency. Example, technology is not related to tech. Everybody need to upgrade about technology if they don't want to be redundant. Correct? The way somebody ask very technical question to an HR guy, see, if he doesn't know the technology, will be in a bad shape one day. Flexible workforce model, correct? So I think traditionally there on roles and off roles, then they started work from home, different mix of people has come. Today we have contractual employee, we have gig economy, and today scaling up, managing profitability and your insurance. One thing is a DNA attached to your name is combined ratio. How can you make business more profitability? And HR, you will surprise, I also have target of management expenses. I also have a target of profitability in my business. For that, if I don't use the flexible workforce model, correct, where if I need to scale up for an IT technology, can I take the gig economy guys, come back to my role, work on an IT project with me, develop that business along with people who are already there in technology, scale up that project in 3 months and 2 months, and go back to their other life. I can't hire for each role, each product, permanent employees with us. The best thing which Gen Z has given to us is the gig economy. Employees are ready to work on contractual basis, on a project basis, or an assignment basis. In a millennial or a prior generation, everybody want a permanent job. Correct? Today, people love to work with a gig economy and contractual basis. So I think that is must for a talent to see that balance, and we need to train our talent to work with this gig economy contractual employee, because accountability of that project after them lies with them. The next is cross-functional and adaptive teams. The biggest challenge you see in insurance, and you have professors who can endorse it, insurance was all about specialization. So if I'm in marine, I'm born in marine, I'll die in marine. If I'm in, say, motor claims, I'll start in motor, and after 10 years, so I can't think of leaving it because you're taking oxygen or you're taking life out of me, you're getting blood out of me. I've become now super expert in the industry. People call me, and I call me as a professor, you ask me to shift from one line to another line. But today you can't survive. Because of customer expression, joint working, cross-bundle products, you need an agile talent with you. And to be an agile talent, I think you need to make sure your talent work cross-functional. Today in a business project, today in a new business model, one person from HR works, one from finance works from sales works, and underwriting works, and maybe actuary works, and they come together and solve a customer problem. We're working on customer centricity where 18 departments, each employee is gone on deputation for 3 months. They all are working together because they're learning new concept of customer centricity. Each functions which is not dealing with customer understand what customer is all about. and they able to be more agile. Tomorrow there is job opening, IJPs, I was sharing. The beauty of Tata AG, we encourage employees to change jobs in 18 months. You can change your location, you can change your role. And I think that expertise of changing role will come from such cross function. And that's where we company develops their talent to them. Data-driven talent management, gone are those days where leader will go there with performance and see what the talent is all about. Today, the technology and data analytics give you a future competency gap. You are doing great in your current role, but with data-driven analytics, predictive analytics, I can tell what is the future competency Tata AG required or any company require, and where the talent gap is all about. Who's your talent pipeline through assessment development center and many technical prospective predictability acceptation that he's going to work on that culture or team or cross functions. Manager can a very data driven decision, so they'll not go their wisdom, they don't not give your perception executive presence, but a lot of data and technology help us to identify it in talent management, identify who's a future talent for us and who can become a future talent to us. Decentralized decision making and empowerment. This is very close to your heart. When you join, what needs Gen Z needs it. I worked on a project what Gen Z needed, and believe me, after doing so much research, the first thing I presented to my MD is they need a casual dressing. And he was surprised. The first thing which all youngsters written in a survey that we don't want to wear formals. Correct? And it was surprise to us. They might ask money, they might ask something else, they might have better laptop. If millionaire there, they'll ask for more salary, more bonus, more ESOPs. What Gen Z is asking us? They need a cool environment. What it means? They don't need a traditional workstation to sit. So we get a couches, bar table. You see our offices are not less than a pub. The new offices that we're building up. We meet cash. If you're meeting a customer, still we are part of financial services. What we are saying to our employees, if you're not meeting a customer, a casual dressing every day is perfectly okay. Gone those days, the millennial fight and got for 5-day business or casual dressing. Today, Tata AG operate 5 days business dressing. What we need, looking for this generation is more empowerment. They want faster decision. If you want to achieve customer centricity, you want data-driven decision making, you want digitalization, the empowerment goes to the front line, to the new generation like you, who's taking decision faster. In the olden time, the decision used to come from top to bottom. It used to take more time. It chokes your pipeline. It makes you more frustrated. And I think the customer or end business results are not achieved because of this. Today, if you want that talent, you need to train them in decision making and empowerment. You need to give that also. So not only training will help, but giving empowerment, giving better decision making and aligning them to get faster decision in terms of the environment should not stop you with that. And with AI, with faster training, like underwriting decision authority, today, as I said, it takes 8 days, 20 days, 30 days. When you join my frontline underwriter, can I give you that empowerment decision making that you can take a call? Can you quote at a first time the maximum discount that a company can offer, right? And that's more crucial for us on a talent point of view. Agile performance management used to be very happy. साल में एक बार appraisal होता है, साल में एक बार पगार बढ़ता है. We used to be very happy. What Gen Z wants? They said we don't work for annual basis. We work on a project basis. We work on assignment. We need immediate feedback. Correct? What we need is immediate gratification. We need somebody to acknowledge our work on a quarterly basis. So more frequent feedback, more feedback reviews, more faster acknowledgement of what you do. I think Gen Z want to come off waiting that 30th April for a big bonus and an increment letter for them, right? Things are changing there, and I think that's where the new formation of Gen Z is changing us. Regulation, for us speaking about this is very dangerous, right? And risky. Correct. So what I intentionally keep us, make sure that we speaking about the new regulations that are impacting us, and I think where Gen Z play a critical role. Data security. Hope you are aware that today the world is about data privacy, data security, Act like GDPR of EU or DPDP of India, data protection, data privacy, as pushing us to be more compliant, more agile. Customers want their data to be more secure. Precisely in insurance, we have more detailed data of a customer, including claim history, medical history, fitness, his medical certificate like with us. We're connecting so many times to customer at different point, from buying till endorsement till end of the day claim servicing, right? You're touching a customer at many stages. Now with such acts coming up, you're more accountable. either you need to train your employees and talent better on this, or you end up giving fine and reputation loss to your organization. The second is labor law and workforce regulation. Today, the definition of labor has changed, as I said before, is permanent labor. Today, you work from home labor, you labor, I'm saying employee. You are employee who is in hybrid, on a contractual, on a retainer basis. You have different set of employees working with you. Organizations need to make sure that their labor laws, their code of conducts are aligned to such work environment. They're equal opportunity employers, because Gen Z looks and value equal opportunity employer. Either it's in D&I or is the way you treat a customer. Now you're coming different genders coming into your workplace, differently unable people coming to your workplace. Make sure your laws are very aligned to this new labor laws and new way of working. Correct? Sustainability and environment regulation. I think a lot of laws coming on carbon emissions, waste management, and there are many other laws which is coming to make sure that you are not damaging to environment. Governance has become very important part of any business. A lot of business in last decades has been from top to goes bottom because of poor governance. So I think ESG environment has become very important. Way the customer and generation like look to you is all about this. The brand that I represented is all about sustainability, about ethics, the way you operate. I think today customer and employee value an organization above money or work environment or infrastructure they spend. How you operate your business is also equally important. And this is the biggest risk that today corporates are doing it. If you play with it, you end up paying fine, you go to legal litigation, and the most damage is you impact the reputation of a brand, and today brands has a lot of value. It may impact your shareholder price, and it'll impact you in all the way you can think about. Industry specific regulation, I'm not speaking the domain or regulatory that you speak, but I speak the modern regulation today that we have is on cyber risk, on data privacy and other risks that today insurance is focusing about. A lot of regulatory changes you see every day. Regulators always manage this insurance industry or any other regulatory complaint like banking, RBI. Every regulator plays a very critical role to make sure the business standards are maintained, ethical standards are maintained, and I think the customer interest is always focused by any regulator. And it's in the job of any corporate, any industry, any insurance company to make sure we are compliant as per regulatory laws like anti-money laundering or any other laws that is law of the land that you are following to make sure you are there in the business. Customer, the most important part of it, as I said, the customers are changing, and I never seen a customer changing like this in 2 decades. It's from customer delight, customer interaction. First, you have to understand who's your customer. And when I come specific to our industry, and I'll give a biggest shock to you, no insurance company till now think what is there. Nobody do a close focus group. I work with FMCG, I work with lubricants. We used to do blind testing. We used to do meet customers. We used to go to customer to make sure what they think about new product. We used to call in a similar forum and gives mother a product and ask for it. No insurance company goes to customer and think what they need for future. They decide based on their experience. And that's the ambiguity about the industry, correct? Today, things are changing. Companies like us, before launching a product, going to customer, doing a close focus group, hiring and brand marketing neutral agencies to do market research for us. And I think things have changed now in industry that you're going to be operate future. So I think customer empowerment and self-service. Today, customer, the time that I learn it, and including my parents, and go back to your parents who are going to work in insurance, how many of them has seen their two-wheeler policy or four-wheeler? I can challenge you, 90% of your parents never read the entire policy till the page 2. They see date, time, sum insured, premium paid. That's all. Correct? Things have changed. Today, and they want everything to be done by intermediary. They don't want to do anything in buying an insurance. Today, customer want to get their own experience. They want to go to portal, they renew the policy, they want to see how it look like, they go through the entire detail. So then customer experience of buying a policy has completely changed. Now customer engagement is another challenge for us, right? You are overdoing with a customer. You're sending him a standard birthday on the early morning at 6 o'clock when his wife or spouse is also not wish him a happy birthday or happy anniversary. Everybody understands it's a part of technology. Or 1 a.m. you're sending an SMS, happy birthday to you, happy anniversary to you. I think your customer today knows it. He knows it that you are doing an engagement. And for us, engagement is very confusing to him. I'll tell you why. Because you get a different details, example, a wrong date of birth of a customer, you're sending a wrong communication, he will not trust you as a brand, right? He will send you, इसको मेरा date of birth ही नहीं पता है, आपको detail ही नहीं पता है, how this company is going to manage my claim, right? So today, going to a customer in a right way, make sure is the talent is being trained right way to build technology, which is helping a customer to do this. So when you join this, any institution or organization, you need to see, and you need to push the organization that they are aligned to customer, their technology is aligned to customers, and they are reaching the engagement and self-service part of this. Personalization and real-time response, as I said before, I think what customer need is today is personalized information. If Tata AG knows about me, he should know my buying behavior. If I renew my policy, I'm very prudent to pay premium on time. I should get notice 90 days before. I should get detail 90 days before. If I prefer to pay in 45 days, I want every communication related to me is personalized to me. I don't want dear customer. I want dear Hemant. Correct? I think that's where the customer are changing it, and insurance company need to create that database, create that intelligence, train their machine learning about the behavior of a customer, the pattern of the customer, when he's going to buy it, how he's going to buy it, when he's supposed to add his family members. I think a lot of things you can do with this, and I think you'll be able to build more customer experience and largely ZenZ out of this. Ethical and sustainable expectation, I think not employees expect us, not you expect us when you joined us. I think customer also expect. A lot of examples are there where because of unethical practices, I don't want to name, but I'll give a classic example about this. There's an insurance company who has a multinational account who used to operate in South Africa. Correct? That company is destroying the entire environment to create a plant there. That player of that country used to play for one of Indian company's foreign partner. They boycotted the match. They said, you need to go back, tell to your Indian partner that stop insuring this company. Otherwise, you're not ethical and we're not going to play for you. So today, ethics has become very important in every part of the business. What you do is not only important, the partners that you work for is also equally important how ethical they are. So today, customers are very aware. If you're doing carbon waste, you're doing water wastage, companies are not buying. FMCG companies need to pull down and reduce their water waste to make sure that customers buy the end product. So only discount or trade offer doesn't work today in a business. You need to make sure that you are ethical the way you operate. If there is a news on a share market, you've done a financial fraud, customers stop buying from you. Although your products and services remains the same. So I think that's very crucial for meeting the rising customer expectation. I think omni-channel engagement, that's very critical to the customer that today you do. So today, typically in an insurance company, which all places you interact to a customer? Anybody? What are the stages that you interact to a customer? Anybody can raise their hand and tell me. Sorry? So you know only products. So underwriting comes second. In a retail product, customer never knows the underwriter, who is underwriter. So time of sales. What else? Marketing. Can you precise it? What marketing and what sales? How is the difference between two?
So sales is like you know the person whom you are selling to, so you derive a product and eventually you pitch the product to the itself person. And market is you understand the need of the person, then you derive a product, then you go for it.
This is a theoretical definition of marketing. Give me a parlance of insurance.
Parlance is all about, for example,
Health insurance example.
So for example,
Yeah. Sorry?
so just RDI announced the circular, for example, that we have to cover up to a certain ages also. So for that, we have to drive the market itself and we have to capture the need of the market. For example, if a person is elderly age and we need to design a product for elderly person, then we are capturing the market for this long also.
Perfect. So Ranjit sir, you still need me to come and give the practical exposure of business. Sorry, I'm just kidding. So I'll just, because I need to sum up. What is the way you, first, the intermediary of insurance approach to a customer. And I'm speaking more about retail business, right? So that's a first phase of contact where you get an appointment by phone. The second phase of contact, you meet in person to the customer. I'm saying precisely when you do first time buying with an insurance company. Second time you meet him for endorsement, correct? Or maybe policy servicing when we deliver a policy and issue a challenge. Third time you meet at the time of claim. And there's one more thing coming up is called social media marketing. I'm a customer who bought a policy from an agent, but I see what Tata AGs do in terms of what Ranbir Kapoor speaks on a news channel or Rohit Shetty speaks on a ad, which can be a social media marketing, correct? Or it can be reverse also. I'll search about good travel insurance. Social media follows me. Everywhere it's all about Tata AG or whatever brands that following me. Then I go back to the website and then I go back to the entire process of claims and policy servicing. These are the stages to it. What is happening in insurance industry or precisely many other industry is you get a blue color ad and different communication, fantastic naam, fantastic kaam. When agent goes sell something else about insurance, with you always example with your tagline, and when you go for policy servicing, you get a difference. For renewal team sending you a notice, you get a different color letter. So you're not getting a same experience of Tata AG. What we've done it, you go to our website, go to our brochure, go to our sales pitch, go to a renewal notice. 7 department today connects, including claims to a customer. They speaks in the same language, same message, same communication, same color letter to them, and we make sure, including birthday wishes. There's a time I'm not saying about Tata, some other insurance company, on 26 January, they got 13 emails from different departments. Retention बोलेगा मेरा customer है मैं भी mail भेजता हूँ, sales वाला बोलेगा मैं भी भेजता हूँ, agent बोलेगा मैं भी भेजता हूँ. तो customer 13 mail used to come to me of wishing me happy Independence Day or happy Republic Day. Correct? After that I realized I'm not interested from Tata G or for a birthday. 15 people sending me happy birthday messages and my WhatsApp get full. Today you can do WhatsApp communication or emails also, messages also, right? So what company looking this is omni-channel. We want all department, all talent to come together, design a standard communication for a customer, and one department called customer service should do communication on behalf of all channels and department. Otherwise he get irritated or he get confused with the communication that you want to. Somebody sell another old brochure, somebody sell new brochure to him. That's why it's very crucial for a customer, because he goes to different channels, social media marketing, digital marketing, website, customer, agent, sales team, renewal team, claims team, it should have a common message to them. So I'll end how it is impacting to company. One of the research done by Big Five, it says only 75% companies are focusing on next gen or Gen Alpha. And I think you've seen, I don't know to bore you with the example of Kodak or HMT or another example. If these companies are not ready to make sure they're aligned to the new business requirement of Gen Z, either as customer and employees, they're not going to survive into business. 90% people feel is not about employee, it's about customer, and customer drives innovation, including Tata AG. We believe that 10% of our revenue should come from innovation and disruption. And that's where customer playing very critical role in of their expectation to drive innovation in insurance or in the industry. Last, what research says, 50% employees or talent that lies in a company are not ready for future competency and skills. So their knowledge gap, future readiness, next Z need to be developed further after coming from premium colleges. If they are coming from, some are coming from regular colleges. I think the companies need to invest more on the talent to make sure they are ready on future competency, which many speaker comes before me. Sorry for the delayed presentation. I hope you liked it. Any question? Otherwise, I'll sum up my presentation for all of you. I rush up to make sure I'll be in time, but I think I crossed. Any question before? Yeah.
Can you elaborate more on it? So you talked about geopolitics. So can you elaborate more on it, as in how it will impact insurance sector?
So I thought you were about industry. Insurance is impacted badly. Example, your supplies are there from say Ukraine, Russia, Israel, any country that you think about. The raw material cost will increase. Your customers are under pressure. He'll ask you more discount and premium. Or example, he has a business interruption. His plant is fully functioning, but he don't have one basic raw material. In automobile industry, I don't want to name the company because confidentially, one tiny small part which you're never able to see in a car. Because of that, there's a business interruption claim for Tata AG, and we able to tell him there is no business interruption, but that impacted his production for 6 months. Example, semiconductor at the time of COVID, entire automobile, everything was under pressure because of geopolitical or the environment situation, right? So it impact on supply chain, in trade credit, you export the goods, you are able to do this. Or example, some companies stand in the law and they, because of the, you not follow the law, they ask our multinational account of Indian companies who are working abroad, they ask us to go back, or they don't done the payment because you not follow a law or a quality standard which suddenly changed in that country. We had a similar case in one of the countries where the suddenly law has changed and the project was 90% completion, but the local government or the monarchy says we'll not pay you because you're not following the law, which lead to a lot of big claim to India. So definitely this is impacting us, impacting our customers. Either it impact to the insurance coverage or it's impacting to the claims badly to us in the form of business. And that's also increasing the reinsurance premium, the ultimate part of us, because we also have a reinsurance. Because they're getting more claims there, global risk, the global premiums also increasing day by day.
So, sir, doesn't geopolitics have a positive side to insurance sector? Like, it is impacting negatively, we know, but
so geopolitical issue is very rarely positive side, but yeah, I always thinks about any netcat or any calamity or any such instance gives more insurance awareness to people. So now people buying more trade credit, buying more different form of insurance, example, business interruption and other form. Example, the biggest example I seen in my 2 decades of experience of insurance is COVID. Before I used to tell my cousin relatives, because I'm insurance, I'm aware about it, buy health insurance. Nobody used to buy. Everybody used to think is 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees, I can pay it. Nobody used to think मेरे पूरा family कभी बीमार होगा, but COVID अगर एक को होगा तो आपकी family को होगा. Hospital charging you bomb. I have my relatives with the claim of 20 lakhs, 30 lakh rupees for entire family. And I think the way of insurance awareness that year, the health insurance has grown by 65%. So what COVID has given a major loss, it impacts us on our reinsurance premium, it impacts on profitability. What is given is long-term awareness, which any advising, which any insurance awareness initiative never able to match it. Correct? So any national calamity floods, people was buying only TP. Now every owner after doing floods, and I was part of every city now. It started big claim I seen in at least my career is in Bangalore floods. Today everybody buys a comprehensive insurance rather buying this. So definitely all such situations help us in insurance awareness and penetration. But yeah, immediate impact is bad. Yeah. Thanks. With interest time, yeah. Last question and then close. Yeah, perfect. You can take it afterwards. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That was... Lastly, we have with us Mr. Manas Kapoor, Vice President and Head HR, Technology and Data Function at Swiss Re India. Mr. Kapoor brings an experience of over 20 years in the BFSI sector, including roles at Deutsche Bank and American Express, with expertise in strategy building, talent management, and cultural integration. He is a firm believer in HR's role as a strategic partner to the business. So before he starts, I request my colleague to kindly welcome him formally with a planter.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your this. Okay. So, NIA, thank you so very much for inviting me over. Appreciate. This is my first trip. I'm kind of exploring and understanding the whole academy. So, appreciate that gesture. Nisha, if she's somewhere, thank you for the smooth walk in to the academy. Appreciate. And to all of you, I'm the last man standing between Friday evening and the weekend. Okay, so my name is Manas. I represent Swiss Re. RE stands for reinsurance. I'm sure all of you, because are a part of the insurance sector, are absolutely in tune. I just thank you all for being around. But having said that, I also do recognize that if you have any kind of a compelling need of stepping out, please do so. We are definitely not in diktat at this point of time. What I bring to you is largely talking about what's around technology-enabled next gen talent strategy. Now, when I was kind of actually picking up thoughts around this, I was kind of actually thinking to myself as to what do I really present to all of you, and kind of also uh, thinking about why it is happening, what is happening. So, looking at the patterns, because I am a HR practitioner, I am going to give you a lens from a human resources perspective and what is it that we are seeing from a multinational global organization standpoint. COVID has obviously kind of actually made sure that there was a lot of talent which was concentrated earlier on in certain places. That has kind of actually definitely changed. There was, needless to say, conventional work arrangements. I'm sure each one of you relate to the fact that there are parents of a lot of us who literally do 5 days a week or 6 days a week for that matter, and that also in offices. That is something that has been a norm at some point of time. We've had people who used to just kind of do meetings all around in the buildings, and their physical presence was extremely important. What COVID naturally has done is it's accelerated the need for us to change. And I'm not quite sure if you have got some of your pass out friends who kind of share with you that now there isn't a need for you to be geographically present in a single place. Talent is actually dispersed. And when talent is dispersed, it is now also the responsibility of the employers to get to the talent, right? It was not like that earlier on, where it was typically the employee or typically the prospective employee who wanted to come towards the employer. This situation has changed now. What has also changed is that the ways of working. We no longer are expecting a lot of people to come to work all 24/7 or 5 days a week, and therefore hybrid model of working is kind of starting off. And needless to say, it does impact the organizational culture as such. So it brings in its own nuance and its own challenge in terms of what human resources has to do as such. So COVID has literally kind of actually got a lot of this impact in terms of the social and psychological needs of every individual as such. I had a lot of my speakers who were actually talking about some of those softer aspects, and I'm sure you would have heard that. But needless to say, it's important that how do we kind of make sure that our workforce is actually high morale and it is motivated to kind of do the job that they're supposed to do. Because let's face it, if you are not motivated enough, you be as much as leaders who come and speak to you out here, you would not be kind of actually at your best productivity or best efficiency, or for that matter, even in a learning mode as such. So that is something that we as human resources are kind of actually thinking of. Retention has become critical. But having said that, we are also aware of the fact that there is going to be certain amount of turnover. And when I say turnover, yes, people are going to move. Yes, people are going to kind of look at opportunities if they don't find the right kind of a motivation or right kind of belongingness towards where they work at this point of time. So that's something which is extremely important. So what we are really doing from a human resources perspective is to maximize or optimize the return. And I'm being very commercial out here because please understand, human resources typically is not at a commercial end of things, but we are actually looking at how to optimize that return to the employer and return to the talent who's investing their time as such. And this has to happen in a shorter period of time rather than long winding careers of people in a single organization as such. So that is something that you need to be extremely mindful of, because please understand, when you go down to the corporate, you may have expectations from your side, but similarly, employers also have an expectation from their side, and they are trying to also optimize that experience by itself. So coming from the time, what does the employee give to the employer, to the point where what can the employer give to the employee becomes more relevant at this point of time. I've been hearing a lot of conversations, right? And a lot of our distinguished panel members talk about data. There is a lot of analytics, guys. Trust me, any organization, there will be data. Swiss Re, I kind of actually take pride in terms of saying that we've got 170 years of data with us. And We were one of those who were also associated in terms of the incident that happened from a Titanic perspective, because we were one of those who had insured Titanic as well. So if I go back, insights are there pretty much, or analytics is available everywhere. Data is there. But while it gets measured, we want to kind of be very careful in terms of how do we want to use that data, right? Similar as you guys will have statistical data about various policies, insurance, etc. Human resources is also kind of actually progressing itself in terms of getting that talent data. And the question lies to us, how do we use it? And for that, I kind of want to share the next one, what we are really crafting from a human resources perspective. Everything that you kind of heard of, what we were talking about in bits and pieces, I'm trying to kind of actually bring that together out here, because what you see in front of you is an employee life cycle out there. It even starts before you start thinking that you are going into a corporate, right? Here is an employer. They are kind of actually looking at all the data, which includes campus data as well, by the way, to look at what is the kind of strategic people planning that they want to do. And when I say strategic people planning, they're actually looking at what is the kind of capabilities or the skills that the organization really wants, just not for a long term, but also for a mid-term or a short term as well. And if somebody is coming to you, they're definitely coming with a specific plan out there. And hence it is important that you do understand that what is the kind of critical skill that you possess for yourself. And that is something which is important, which in lot many ways kind of was shared by some of my other distinguished panel members as well. There are certain skill pools. We decide, basis the business understanding, or let's say in today's context, business intelligence, that do we want to build that data, or do we want to go to the market and buy that data, or do we want to kind of actually just do a combination of it? So if you see that in any corporate or any organization you're stepping in, there is a combination that is there, then the idea is precisely that. We want a combination of talent which is there, which could be to do with somebody who is fresh out of the campus, which could be to somebody who is middle management, and therefore we want the experience, but we also want the newness or the perspective from somebody who's coming out of a campus afresh by itself. So that thought process is already kind of going in from a recruitment standpoint. Having said that, we do have some of these talent systems. In fact, a perfect segue for me to kind of take you into how we are sourcing the right kind of talent. In Swiss Re, like for example, as mentioned, since we were building up our technology company and a technology team within India, we went ahead and actually used certain platforms which could be actually used specifically for assessments. Now, we need to kind of utilize that simply because, please understand, the pool of talent that is available in our country is huge. But out of that pool of talent, there is also an element of getting the right talent for yourself. Every corporate is looking for that, right? And therefore, there are certain assessments that are kind of actually put in to give the understanding, at least a fair understanding, not a rejection process, but to really affirm in terms of what is it that we are looking at from a base or a core value that is there. That was some aspects. Focused upskilling. Gone are those days when there used to be classroom sessions. Post-COVID, we have kind of actually completely moved out of classroom sessions. If you do step in, we encourage our employees to kind of own their own learning. There is an important aspect in terms of upskilling, but mind you, there is this aspect which is also called blended learning. Now, blended learning is a concept which is just not focused on a classroom session, but it has got various different kinds of aspects in terms of what is it that you need to do by yourself, where will you be assisted, where is it that you need to listen to, where you need to see, or where do you need to kind of apply some of those skills. So this all kind of helps us in terms of bringing in that digital aspect and the strategy towards kind of actually looking at our people. Last but not the least, I had this mentioned, in Swiss Re, we kind of actually moved into a culture where we were having continuous feedback. Now, when I say continuous feedback, the organization took a very conscious call that we are not going to get into descriptors or year end. We want to have a continuous conversation with our employees, similar to the kind of ask that they may also have, to really kind of recognize and understand and get appreciated if they've done good work, or do course corrections if they think that they need to do something better. And this kind of actually motivates a lot of people, probably in your generation and generation next, simply because of the fact that you know real time as to how you are doing out there. One thing what I've not mentioned on this slide is, between all this, there is this element of human centricity that comes into play, right? And this is extremely important, because at the end of the day, we are still people. We still have social and psychological needs of ours. And therefore, bottom line is that will continue from a perspective of certain social aspects, and that'll remain in terms of, let's say, curiosity, in terms of benevolence, in terms of how you are treating others by respect or inclusiveness. And some of these aspects are pretty common in terms of what is it that either you guys are expecting, or for that matter, the corporates are expecting. So it's a two-way kind of a combination that goes in. Last but not the least, we have pretty much kind of used this digital in terms of productivity, efficiency, innovation, employee engagement. But having said that, we do have challenges. And the way we view these challenges are that we have challenges in terms of the skill gaps. The way we have these challenges are in terms of the shortage, in terms of some of the capabilities that we require from a perspective of people being able to kind of actually deliver on that. Is there a silver bullet for it? The answer is no. Can we work towards it? The answer is yes. And I think balance would be the right thing out there. I had one of these individuals who was talking about AI and ML earlier on, one question that was asked, and something that kind of reminded in my mind was, and I wanted to share this with all of you, was the fact that, you know, the people who actually would have thought of cars at the time of horse carts would have been the people who would have been the most valuable ones. So keep that in mind in terms of the creativity, the innovation, and the element that, you know, the human aspect of creativity, innovation, thinking is never going to get replaced as such as well. So that brings me to the end. I kept it short specifically, but I'm more than happy to kind of take any questions from all of you, please. Either I was, sorry? All good? Was I that clear, guys? I'm doubting myself. Okay, clear. Okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate, I think a lot of valuable stuff has been shared out here. To me, I think the time that I have kind of actually spent out here, it has been a learning blitz to me, to be honest. I'm sure each one of you also would have kind of had your own experiences, but truly so, a lot of takeaways, and appreciate the opportunity as well. Thank you much. Yeah? Thank you, Larry. Oh, okay. Sure.
Thank you, sir. As a token of our gratitude, we wish to present a small memento to our esteemed presenter, Mr. Manas Kapoor. I request my colleague to kindly felicitate the speaker.